Hello friends, so in this video let's quickly check up what is you need to do for the wave optics. So in the wave optics, first of all you should be familiar with what is the Huygens principle, how that wavefront concept is given, how the reflection refraction are explained. Then you move on to the interference. So before interference you should be very much aware with the 11th class waves topic, where you superposition, you study whenever the waves combine, you say the resultant amplitude is given by the phasor method, and that AR is under root A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi, and similarly the intensity. And the same thing we use in YDSE. So you need to know the setup, where are the maximas, where are the minimas, what is the fringe width, how the fringe width varies on different factors, what happens when the one slit is covered with some transparent slab or the medium is changed. That all things you need to remember. In diffraction, again you simply need only single slit front of a diffraction. You should know where are the minimas and where are the secondary maximas and what is the width of secondary maxima, and the basic idea how this minima thing is explained, nothing else. Now for the resolution based on this diffraction, we say for any optical instrument having circular aperture, the minimum angle which it can resolve is 1.22 lambda by d. Typically resolving power of telescope is said to be 1 upon theta minimum, that is d upon 1.22 lambda. So you have the greater the diameter and lesser the wavelength, more would be the resolution. Now polarization. In polarization, two things are important. First, the law of Malus and the equation based on that, polarizing sheets, angles, variation, and the Brewster's law, which is tan theta p is n2 by n1. Just remember this diagram for Brewster law. Just remember when the reflected and refracted rays are at a 90 degree, this reflected ray is completely polarized, and note the direction of vibration. This is important. The direction must also be known, how it is polarized. Just remember this figure, it will help you out. So this was the checkpoints. Now first of all, the interference phenomena, we'll take some questions. To demonstrate the phenomena of interference, we require two sources. This is a very basic idea. Always remember, for an observable interference you need two coherent sources. Coherent means they should have the same frequency and have a stable or a definite phase relationship. So this would be the option. Just remember, without coherent sources interference would be happening, but you won't be able to observe the interference. In the YDSE, the intensity at a point where the path difference is lambda by 6 is I, if I naught denotes the maximum intensity, I by I naught is. So you directly remember this formula, intensity at any point is I max or I naught cos square phi by 2, you remember. And the phase difference phi is given as 2 pi by lambda into delta x. So putting it in this perspective, phi would be 2 pi by lambda into lambda by 6, that is pi by 3. So I would be I max is given as I naught. Cos square, half of this would be pi by 6. Pi by 6 cos you know is root 3 by 2. So directly I by I naught comes out as 3 by 4. Go for option 4. Next, two slits in the YDSE have the width in the ratio 1:25. The ratio of intensity at the maxima and minima in the interference pattern is, because their width is 1:25, their intensity ratio will also be the same. So if I have to solve this, I max upon I min. So I max upon I min you typically write as root I1 plus root I2 upon root I1 minus root I2 whole square, that you remember, max and min. So one is, let's say I, the other one will become 25i, and similarly root of I minus root of 25, it doesn't matter, you write root 25 minus 1 or something, you have to square it up. So it will be 5 plus 1 6 square, 5 minus 1 4 square, that is 36 by 16, that comes out as 9 by 4. Go for option 3. Next, an identical waves each of intensity I naught interfere with each other. The ratio of maximum intensities if interference is coherent and incoherent. Just remember, in the incoherent one, simple resultant intensity would be addition of all, that would be n times I naught. In the coherent, I max will be, that I told you, the amplitude will become n times, so the intensity will become n square times. So the ratio will be to this coherent to this incoherent would directly be coming out as n. So go for option 4 here. Next, the intensity of the maxima in YDSE is I naught. Distance between two slits d is 5 lambda, where lambda is the wavelength of the light. What would be the intensity in front of the one of the slit placed if the distance capital D is 10 times d? So here what you need to do, just remember this. This is the setup we use. In front of one of the slit, let's say like this. So in front of one of the slit, this ray here travels a distance capital D. This one going like this, let's say this one coming like this one going like this, will travel a distance which would be root d square plus d square. Okay, and this d is given as what you are given as 10d. So if I take the path difference, first of all, if I write the path difference that we typically write, that would be root of d square. D square means 10d ka whole square plus d square minus this capital D would be, capital D is 10d. So it comes out as root of what we are getting, this is 10d, so it is 101d square minus 10d, that is what we are getting. So the difference is going to be very, very small in this case. So you could have directly gone for this thing also, that what we can write, this is 10d, I could directly go for that sin theta thing or something, but let me write it like this. This would be theta, so I can write it as d sin theta. D sin theta would be d into sin theta would be d by 2 by d, that is d square by 2d I can write, and d square by 2d would be come out as d square upon 20d, or you can write it as d by 20, that would suffice for us. From there also you will roughly get that data, I think. Now going by that, what would be the intensity? So intensity would be depending on delta phi would be 2 pi by lambda into delta x. So lambda and d relation, d is given as what is, you are given 5 lambda, so it is 5 lambda by 20, so basically lambda goes, so it would be pi by 2. So directly you will say I is I naught cos square pi by 4 cos square is 1 by 2, that is I naught by 2. So you will go for option first. So I have first checked whether the approximation will be valid or not. If I have from the data it appears that it is very, very small, so I have gone for that thing. You could have directly gone for that also. Next, in a YDSE, slits are separated by half mm and the screen is placed 150 centimeter away. Beam of light has two wavelengths 650, 520 used to obtain interference fringes on the screen. The least distance from the common central maxima to the point where the bright fringes due to both coincide. Now this is an important question, due to both coincide. Now for the first one we can say location of maxima is n1 lambda 1 d by d, for second it would be n2 lambda 2 d by d. So for them to coincide, what we have, n1 lambda 1 d by d equals n2 lambda 2 d by d. So from here what we get, this first ratio n1 by n2 would be lambda 2 by lambda 1, which comes out as 520 by 650, that is 4 by 5. That means this is fourth and this is fifth, that will coincide. So the value I can make out is, that would be 4 lambda 1 is 650 into 10 raised to power minus 9 into dd is 1.5, I can write in SI units, this is 0.5, that is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4. So now what we are left with, this is one 650, I can write it as 4 into 65 into 15, I can write upon 5, and this would be 10 to the power minus 5. So this 5 and this would be 3, so 4 3s are 12, 12 into 65 into 10 to the power minus 5, I can write it as 12 into 0.65 mm. That would be the answer. So going by this, it appears it would be 7.8. Let me check, do the calculation. 12 5s are 60, 12 6 is 72, 78, so it is 7.80 mm. So go for option first, that would be the answer. Next one. Now an ideal, this is an ideal double slit experiment when a glass plate, now this is important, a glass plate of thickness T is introduced in the path of one of the interfering beams. The intensity at the position where the central maxima was there remains unchanged, that means it is still a maxima. So first of all, what happens on insertion of plate, initially at the center point there was no path difference, but because of this there will be a path difference, because here we say it travels, instead of T it travels nt, while it is traveling only T because there is no slab being placed. So what we can say, the additional path difference introduced is n minus 1 T. Right, let me write it clearly. Additional path difference is n minus 1 by T, that should be equal to n lambda for maxima, or for limiting case let it be lambda. So T minimum would be lambda upon n minus 1, so lambda upon 0.5, that is 2 lambda. Go for option D here. This is from one of the Abhyas test. Next, similar question on introducing a thin mica sheet of this thickness, refractive index in the path of one of the fringes. Central bright fringes shifts by n fringes. That means that you can now say at the central maxima point initially that it would be n lambda. So you can directly say, what we can directly say, this mu minus 1 T I can write, that should be equal to n lambda I can say. So the value of n would be mu minus 1 is 0.5, T is 2 into 10 to the power minus 6, and this is 5 into 10 to the power minus 7. So this is 10 by 5 I am getting, so this would be 2, so the 2 fringes will be shifted in this case. Next one, and now these take a screenshot, first 2 questions, take the screenshot and solve yourself. Next 2, take a screenshot and solve yourself. Now for the diffraction part, at the first minimum adjacent to the central maximum of a single slit pattern, the phase difference between the Huygens wavelet from the edge of the slit and the wavelength of the midpoint of the slit. Now this is important. So for the first minima, you remember we divide this slit into two parts, let's say A, B and O, and we say the ray going from here, the ray going from here, we take this part difference as what we can write it as d by 2 or a by 2, what you can say. So you can directly say this is theta, so we can directly say this part difference would be a by 2 sine theta we typically write, and we say this should be equal to lambda by 2 for because it is a minima. So what we say typically that the wave arriving from just below it and below it should cancel up, so they should have a part difference of pi or phase difference of lambda by 2. So directly we have to check for the phase difference. This phase difference should be equal to pi radians. So that is what you can directly make it out. So this will cancel this up. Similarly, a point below this and a point below this symmetrically will cancel this up. So this is pi radian. Go for option 1. Next, in the diffraction pattern, due to a single slit of width A, the first minimum is observed at 30 degree when light of 5000 angstrom is incident. The first secondary maxima will be, so first of all, A sine 30 degree is equal to what you can say lambda. For first secondary maxima, what you need, A sine theta should be equal to 1.5 lambda. So dividing it, sine theta by sine 30 would be equal to 1.5. So sine theta would be equal to 1.5 into sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. So basically it comes out as 3 by 4. So sine inverse 3 by 4 would be the answer in this case. Next, you have a narrow slit of width 1 mm illuminated by a light of 600 nanometer. Distance between the first minimum on the either side of the screen at distance of 2. First minimum on either side, that is simply saying width of central maxima, which you know as 2 lambda L by A. L is the screen distance, lambda is 600, 6 into 10 to the power minus 7 I can write. L is 2 and this is 10 to the power minus 3. So this is 24 into 10 to the power minus 4 or 2.4 mm. You can go for this option 4th. Next one. In a YDSE, two slits are 1 mm apart and the screen is 1 meter away. A light of wavelength 500 nano is used. What would be the width of each slit for obtaining 10 maxima of double slit within the central maxima of single slit? So within the central maxima of single slit, that is 2 lambda L by slit width A, and it should contain 10 maxima of double slit. So 10 maxima means simply 10 lambda d by d, that is what you can say. So what we get from here, lambda will go, so you need the width of the slit A would be 2 LD upon 10D, and this L and D will be this is small d. So this L and D is same, both are the screen distance, so I can cancel up. So this would be d by 5. D by 5 means 1 mm by 5, that is 0.2 mm. Go for option 2 in this case. This should be 0.2 mm. Now test yourself, take the screenshot of first these two questions and now this third. Now the last part, that is what we call as polarization. So let me do this polarization thing. Now the first question based on polarization, when you have an unpolarized light of intensity I naught incident on a polarizing sheet, the intensity of the light which doesn't get transmitted. Whenever you have unpolarized light, you know I naught by 2 is transmitted, I naught by 2 is not transmitted. Go for example 3, basic one. Next one, a beam of unpolarized light of intensity I naught is passed through a Polaroid A. So you know after this it will become I naught by 2 because it was unpolarized. Then through another Polaroid B which is oriented that the axis makes an angle 45 degrees. So now the intensity would be I naught by 2 cos square 45 using the law of Malus. Cos square 45 is 1 by 2. So that is I naught by 4. Go for option first. Now the next one, unpolarized light of intensity I passes through an ideal polarizer A. So again it becomes I naught by 2. Another identical polarizer B is behind A. The intensity of the light beyond B is found to be I by 2. That is I by 2, that means A and B are parallel. Now another identical C is placed between A and B. The intensity B is now found to be I by 8. So that means this A and B were basically having the same directions. Now the C1, let's say, plays like say with an angle theta here. So it would be theta from both. So here what we are coming, it was I by 2. So after this it will become I by 2 cos square theta. Again the angle is theta because between C and B will be also be theta. So that would be I by 2 cos square theta is the incident into cos square theta. And this question says that is I by 8. So what we have, cos to the power 4 theta becomes 1 to the power 4. So cos theta becomes 1 upon 4 to the power 1 by 4, that is 1 by root 2. So that theta is 45 degree. Go for option 1 in this case. So this was for the polarization. Now you can test yourself with these 3 questions. Take a screenshot, and that was from my side. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching.